All right, so do you think working at an Amazon warehouse is worth it? And to me, I think the answer to that question is... What is up, guys? It's Dylan and I'm back with another Amazon video. And in this video, I'm going to be answering some of the common questions that I see come up a lot in our other Amazon videos. But first, I wanted to give a big thanks to all of you guys who have given us support and positive feedback in our other Amazon videos. I honestly had no expectations when I made my first Amazon video about a month ago, but a lot of y'all seem to enjoy it and found it helpful. And I'm more than happy to continue helping out future, new, or even current Amazon employees. But with that being said, let me get straight into the common questions that I get about working at an Amazon warehouse. Alright, so this first question is one of the most popular ones that I see, and it is, where do you apply for this job? So I applied for my warehouse job at amazon.jobs, so just put this into Google and click on the first link. And when you get to the website, there should be a search bar. Just search for the keyword warehouse and enter your city. And if your city has positions available for this job, then it will be displayed here. But if not, then I recommend rechecking every morning. That's what I did, and I was able to find a position doing this one morning. Alright, so the next question, do you have any advice for a future Amazon employee? So yeah, some of the advice that I can give is coming in mentally prepared. You got to know that all the hours that you're going to be working are going to be long. They're not going to be fun, but you still got to show up every day. You got to give 100% effort. And yeah, just being mentally prepared will help you be able to continue finishing through every shift that you take. But not only being mentally prepared, but also try to have some motivation. Like for me specifically, I was always telling myself, I'm in a lot of pain now. I don't really like being here, but in the future, after I'm done working this job, I'll have some cash or funds in order to do something that I do like and something I do enjoy. And that all wouldn't be possible unless I was working this job here right now. And it doesn't really have to be for yourself. You can do it for a family member. You can do it for someone you love. Yeah, just have some sort of motivation that'll keep you on task and being able to keep you motivated every night. So the next question, does Amazon do background checks? So the answer to this question is yes, they do. I think the day you come in to show two forms of identification, they're going to have you stand by and they're going to scan these two documents onto a computer, and they're going to probably run this background check in the few minutes that they have you standing by. And if there's any red flags, they're going to notify you, and if there's not, you're going to be cleared to go. And then in a few days, they're going to give you an email telling you when your starting day is. Okay, so the next question, do they drug test you before you get hired? So there's a lot of controversy about this in the comment section, but to my understanding, they are not drug testing right now. They didn't drug test me personally when I applied in the beginning of May. I think that's due to the coronavirus pandemic. I believe they haven't been drug testing since March, and I don't really know when they're gonna be restarting a drug test. So to answer the question, no, they're not drug testing now, but if you're watching this video in maybe 2021 or later, then they probably will be doing drug tests by then. All right, so the next question is, what shoes do you recommend to get? So to keep it pretty simple, I recommend getting any Adidas shoes that have the Boost technology. That's what mine have specifically. And if you're not a fan of Adidas, you can get the Nike shoes that have the Air Max technology inside of it. And the reasoning for these is just because you're going to be doing a lot of walking in this job, and you're going to be wanting your feet to be in the most comfortable position at all times. So having a technology that kind of gives you a lot of cushion, I think is going to be really nice, especially over time in like a 10 or 12-hour period. Your shoes are going to be really important, and your feet are going to thank you later. All right, so do you think working at an Amazon warehouse is worth it? And to me, I think the answer to that question is yes and no. If you're trying to work there for a short amount of time, say 6 months or less, then I think it's worth it. But if you're trying to work there for an extended period of time, say 6 months to a year or 2 years or something like that, then I don't think it's worth it. And that's just because of how much pain your legs are going to be in on a day-to-day basis, especially if you're working a 10 to 12 hour shift just like I am. And I don't think it's healthy to have your legs in that much pain for an extended period of time, especially if you're trying to make a living out of this and doing this for years and years to come. So yeah, in short, I think it's worth it if you're just trying to work there for a couple months, but if you're trying to make a living and trying to work there for an extended period of time, then I definitely would not recommend it. Okay, so here's another common question. Can you use phones or earbuds while you work? And the answer to that question is no, you can't. And if you do, if they do see you doing that, you're going to get in trouble. They're going to write you up. However, that doesn't stop a lot of people that work with me to use their earbuds while they work. And I completely understand it. I think that if Amazon would allow their employees to use earbuds while they work, I think a lot of people would really enjoy the job more. But of course, they don't let you, and no one likes it. And that's just a policy they have that everyone hates. All right, so the next question, does Amazon hire older folks? And the answer to that is yes, they do. I think every day I come inside the Amazon warehouse building, I see every single age group possible. So yeah, as long as you're capable of using your legs and willing to work, then you have just as good a shot as anyone to work there. So the next question, are rates hard to hit? So for me personally, I've never not achieved a rate that they want you to hit. So as long as you put a decent amount of effort into whatever task that they want you to be doing, whether it's stowing or picking, then you can definitely achieve these rates and you won't really have any sort of problem. But that's just for me specifically. When they give you the sheet that shows the rates of every single employee that's working that shift, a lot of them are well below the rate that they want you to be hitting. I'd say maybe 70 to 80% of the people on the list are well below the expected rates, which is crazy to see. But yeah, for me specifically, I don't really have a problem with it, and I think that you probably won't either as long as you try. All right, so can you use the restroom whenever you want? So yes, you can use the restroom whenever you want. We're not in first grade anymore. You don't have to ask someone if you can use the restroom and they don't have to say yes. You can just leave your station, go to the restroom and walk back and continue working and everything will be fine. Do you get paid breaks? So yes, you do get paid breaks, but it depends on what type of shift you're working. I know for the 10-hour shift, you get 2 30-minute breaks. One of them is paid and one of them is not paid. But for the shift that I work the 12-hour shifts. So I get 2 30-minute breaks, just like the 10-hour shift, with an additional 15-minute break that's also paid for. So I'm getting 2 paid breaks and 1 unpaid break. And as for the part-time shifts that are like 4 or 5 or 6 hours long, I think you probably get a 15-minute break, something like that, but I'm not sure. So can you choose full or part-time when you apply? So yes, you actually decide if you want to work full or part-time when you're applying. When you apply, they're going to give you a list of all available shifts that are at different locations, and you just choose one that works for you. And you can choose a part-time, you can choose a full-time shift. The full-time ones are going to be the longer 10-hour to 12-hour shifts that are multiple times during the week, and the part-time ones are going to be 4 or 5 hours long, multiple times during the week. But yeah, you have complete control of whatever shift that you want as long as it's available. Can you pick up as many extra shifts as you want? So yes and no. You can pick up as many shifts as you want up until you reach 60 hours if you're a full-time employee. If you're part-time, I think it's like 30. But yeah, you can pick up as many shifts as you want up until the 60-hour period, but they also have to be available. You can't just pick up shifts whenever you want. They have to be offered to you. But yeah, just go on to A to Z, check if they have any extra shifts available. And yeah, just sign up and start working. Is the warehouse hot / is it air conditioned? So I actually tried looking for AC vents inside of my warehouse specifically, and I can't really find any. However, the temperature inside the warehouse is not hot. In fact, I think it's pretty room temperature. And I think that has to do with these really big fans that they have throughout all of the sections of the warehouse. They're just these huge fans that are coming off the ceiling, and they're really strong, and I think they provide a lot of cool air. And yeah, I think they do a pretty good job at keeping the warehouse at a pretty reasonable temperature. How hard is the first day? So the first day is probably the most relaxed day that you're gonna have working at Amazon. That's just because the beginning you're gonna be inside of a room and they're just gonna be talking to you a lot about what the job entails and what you're gonna be doing. And then after you leave this room, after they're done talking with you and the other employees, then they're gonna be taking you to a station and they're gonna be basically teaching you for an hour or 2 of how to do the job. So the first 2 to 3 hours, you're not really gonna be working. You're really just gonna be observing, or they're gonna be talking to you. And then for the remainder of your shift, you're gonna be on your own, and they're going to be also helping you, and you're just going to be getting used to what they want you to be doing. Why is my first day shift shorter than my other shifts? So I really only see 2 reasons for this. Probably the more important reason and the most likely reason is that you're getting paid for the orientation hours that you take part in before your first day. So all of these hours are actually paid for. Amazon will just reduce the amount of hours that you're working on your first day to balance this out and make you have your total amount of time that you're supposed to have. And another reason, I guess, would be that it's a training day. So a lot of the time you're not really going to be working anyway. So I guess Amazon doesn't really need to have you working an entire day if the majority of it is going to be learning and you're going to be talked to or being shown how to work. So does Amazon hire people that are not from the United States or don't speak English? So yes, they do, as long as you have documentation that you are eligible to work in the United States. I think it's completely fine. And as long as you speak a little bit of English, then I think it's completely fine as well. When I came to show them my identification about a few days before I started, there was this one person who couldn't really speak English, but they had a Spanish representative that was able to completely walk her through all the steps. And I think she was able to get a job at the end of the day. How long after your appointment to start working? And I think you're talking about the day you show them your identification. So for me specifically, it took me about 3 to 4 days before I started working, and I got an email, I think that same day I showed them my IDs, or the day after, and they gave me an email telling me when my first day is, what time I should show up, and yeah, just stuff like that. Do you get paid for completing your online training? Yes, you do, so take as long as you want. Alright, so how much do you get paid, and do you get paid extra working during the coronavirus? So I personally get paid $17.90, and that's only because I work 12-hour shifts that are overnight. If I didn't, and if I worked during the day for 10-hour shifts, then I would get paid the Amazon minimum of $15. But because of these two reasons, I get paid a little bit extra per hour. And as for the coronavirus extra pay, if you watched my previous video where I talked about how much I got paid in my first 2 weeks, you can see that I did get paid an additional $2 during the entire month of May. But as of May 31st, they stopped doing that. So all of the Amazon employees no longer receive the additional $2 for the coronavirus pandemic. Okay, so the next question, is pay weekly or bi-weekly? So if you're a seasonal employee or a part-time employee, you're probably going to get paid by the hour, which means you're going to get paid every single week, or more specifically every Friday. However, when you actually get paid, it's going to be a week delayed. So yeah, just keep that in mind. All right, so the last question, do the points that you accumulate ever go away? So if you're not familiar with what these points are, they're basically going to be given to you when you arrive late or leave your shift early. And they're basically just penalty points for doing stuff that Amazon doesn't really want you to be doing. And I talk about them a bit more in my previous Amazon video, so you can definitely look at that if you're not really sure what these points are. But yes, these points do go away. However, it does take a pretty long time for them to roll over or go away. You have to wait 90 days from the day you got this point for it to go away. Alright guys, so that about does it for the common Amazon questions. Like this video if you saw your comment or if you found any of these answers useful. And if you got any other Amazon question, definitely leave it in the comment section below. I read and respond to every single comment you guys give us, so ask away. And with that being said, click over here if you want to see more of our Amazon videos. And click over here if you haven't subscribed already. Thank you guys again for all the support on our channel. We got more Amazon videos coming soon. And yeah, signing off for now. I'll see you guys later.